Okay, welcome to Fall 2023. This is Information Systems for Management, and this is Yang Park. People call me Dr. Park or Yang. So I'm very excited this opportunity this semester. So let's get on to what we're going to do this semester so that I can introduce what we're going to do. All right. Again, my first name Yang, last name Park. No Parks or Parker, anything like that. So hopefully you get my name first. All right, in terms of communication, in GoView, which is our learning system, has an internal email. So in case you have not used or you're not familiar with that particular email, I suggest you go on to email link and try to send me an email, for example, as a practice. Okay. And in terms of communication, I have online office hours 8 to 9 Mondays, 8 to 9 p.m. Mondays. And we're going to hold this, what we call video conference using Collaborate Ultra. That's again embedded into GoView so that we can use video conference tools just like a Zoom, those anything like that. Very similar. So pretty quick to use. Since it's embedded, we can just use it internal application. All right. So as you can read the syllabus, we're gonna have a ProctorU test. Okay, so we have 3 tests, including the final. All those tests require ProctorU service. So it is very important for you to know how to schedule ProctorU testing and how to initiate and how to take the tests. Okay, and there's some levels of learning curve. I think if you have not done before, so I want you go on to ProctorU link and familiar with ProctorU. If you have any questions, you can always let me know. And in terms of application, we're going to use Microsoft Office 2019 or higher. I think the latest one, well, if you have a subscription for Office 365, just whatever you have available will be the latest one, so you don't have to update or anything like that. Matter of fact, the GSW website has a free uh, download tool so that you can update your Office 365 or anything related to Office products. Okay. Oops. Okay, so software again, Office 2019 or higher, and we're going to use Word, Excel, and Microsoft Access that will be part of database exercise. So that's something we need to have. Well, unfortunately, if you're a Mac user, there's no Mac version of Access. So uh, hopefully you can find one from your friends or family, whoever, so that you can use this Microsoft Access. In worst case, I can always help you out so that you can work on a Mac version of database, but it's a little bit complicated than Windows version of Access, for example. In terms of other application, other software that we're going to use, Google based, because Google is just offers a free application in terms of cloud computing, in terms of Google Docs and Google Sites, which is a website you can create for yourself and so forth. So that's one thing we're going to use. And we also also work on some of those latest AI chatbot, pretty hot stuff lately, which is a chat GPT, should be one word. And Jasper or any other very similar chatbot lately that we have seen. So we can take a look at some of those too and talk about database, Microsoft Access, and in terms of internet, web kind of tool that we're going to use HTML, a little bit of JavaScript, and image editor so that we can edit photos, images, those different kind of file. That of course will be free online version that we can use. And we're going to also use file compression software that all in the office environment, is this very useful, handy software that we need to use. For example, WinZip or those file compression software will be very useful. And also text editor when you edit HTML or text file, those kind of things that we're going to use. So we're going to use text editor, Notepad in Windows, and text edit in Mac version will be used. And possibly video. I'm not sure we have a time to do so, but if we can, we're going to use a Visio, which is another Microsoft product that we can use for draw some diagram, figures, and things like that. Very useful. It has a lot of templates so that you can draw all kinds of business-related diagram and chart, so they can be very handy for your project management or anything like those kind of work. And online presentation tool, uh, that's the kind of online version of PowerPoint or Google Docs. Many of you familiar with Canva, Prezi. Those are some examples that you can use. You don't have to use multiple, but you can only use one. You may only use one. So that's something we're going to work on too. All right, so let's get on to actually Go View. So this is the D2L online learning system, just like a Blackboard. If you are first time using Go View, it's much like a Blackboard, of course, different user interface, different kind of tools, and a little bit different in terms of all those user interface, but eventually it'll give you important features like assignment, quizzes, and other types of tools like communication, email, discussion board, so that we can engage in all those tools without any problems. So when you get onto this Go View, first time you're going to see is the announcement. Okay, so announcement will lay out some important information you need to know. So I'm going to update, very often. So make sure you check on this announcement in terms of new materials, videos, tutorial videos, and quizzes. Right, moving on to content. So those materials are organized by module. So let me do it again. So you'll see starting from syllabus. Of course, there's a link at the top, syllabus. So you can see the syllabus right here. Then if you click module, starting from module 1, module 2, more modules will be added, of course. So each module you have all the contents are organized in terms of the first thing is going to appear is the chapter. Since we're going to use the open book, our textbook is open textbook. So basically, I just copy and paste. or you can go to the website of that particular textbook if you want it. So that's the first item of the module at the top. Then you're going to have some supplemental materials. For example, this is my summarize of a difference between data or comparison of data and information. Then you have some extra information that's out of textbook as well. Then followed by assignment, and this looks like a discussion. And we should have the quiz. So quiz will be appeared as well. So that's basically what you're going to have each module. And there's one more item in content. I think this link doesn't have its parent menu at the top, so I think that's why it's put it up here. So Collaborate Ultra, that's again video conferencing tool. All you do is just follow this link, then the session will be organized every Monday. So that all you do is just click join link, then you can join in the session so that you can participate in the conference. So basically the conference is question and answers or some other specific things that you want to talk about, we can talk about in that particular session as well. Okay, so that's the content, and you can directly go to each item. For example, assignment, you can directly go to each assignment rather than going through module. Same thing, quizzes, you can directly go to quiz, and grades will be appeared here as well, so you can track your grades and see what you made. And in terms of to see your feedback, you need to go to each section. For example, if you want to see the feedback of a particular assignment, then you go to assignment, then you click that particular assignment. In this case, assignment 1, then you'll see the feedback of the your submission. Since this has not been submitted, you don't see feedback, but that's how you go. Okay, so that's how you're gonna find each item in terms of assignment, grades, quizzes, and it's another important item. ProctorU. ProctorU, I thought ProctorU has its own uh, menu, but that's under assessment. So if you click ProctorU, then you can log into ProctorU account, so that you can move on to scheduling your ProctorU or taking tests or other relevant information you want to see, right? And there's another one at the top, tutoring. I think this is the free tutoring. I think the link is off right now. I'm sure they're gonna fix this link sooner or later. All right, so that's how this Go view looks like. Again, this is one of the most important item that you need to watch out. Announcement. Okay, announcement section right in the front. Okay. Right, going back to the slides. Again, ProctorU, we talk about ProctorU. So if you have any questions, comment, or issues, I think direct connection you can make actually is talk to Lisa Hansley. She's a representative of our GSW, so that she has a direct connection to ProctorU. So she probably have more information than I do, of course. All right, in terms of grading, and these are the components of the grades. Okay, 3 ProctorU tests, and we have I call it chapter assignment. That's individual assignment, probably about 8, 7, 8, something like that. And project in terms of topic presentation, you'll have all details, of course, but I'll give you kind of overview. You're going to use the online presentation tool, like I just mentioned, like a Canva, Prezi, so that you can show your topic at the same time you're going to present, just like you are presenting in face-to-face presentation. And we have a number of Excel exercises, and we have other hands-on exercises, but some of these items can be embedded into assignments, so may not be standalone assignment. For example, database will be embedded into assignment 4 or 5, so that you'll see that database exercise in assignment, chapter assignment, for example. And we'll have about 5 discussions so that you can work on discussions on discussion board, and we'll have quizzes, be pretty much short multiple choice quizzes you'll have. Okay, some policies, late assignment, late submission policies. Basically, you'll have 3 makeup days. Okay, those 3 days can be at once or individually, like at 3 different times. Okay, so you can take advantage of that. But as soon as 3 days are over, then uh, you'll have penalties. Okay, and the penalty will be 10% per day. All right, and no late quizzes exams unless you have some serious accidents or emergencies uh, with documentation. Okay, you need to have official documentation so that we can arrange any kind of accommodations. And if you need technical assistance, and you can check the syllabus, and you have a link, and you have email address, you have phone number, so that you can contact to the actual technicians. But most likely, sometimes it's a web browser. You can clean the cache or history. Sometimes the problem can be solved. Worst case, you may have to restart your web browser or restart your computer. Then problem can be solved. But again, you can always uh, contact the technicians. And accessibility services. Okay, so if you need accommodations based on your issues, and if you're qualified, you can contact to the Office of Accommodations and Access, and it's a phone number, and this is the personnel that uh, can help with your accommodations, so that we can coordinate the accommodation that you need. Also, academic integrity is another important policy, and I'll assign a grade of 0 for any kind of offense in accordance with the university policy. And if it happens again, then students will receive F in this course. And you also be aware we are using Turnitin, which is online, what they call plagiarism prevention, software. I'm sure some of you haven't used it or seen it, but basically it gives us some rating or percentage of the material that you submitted, so that the higher the number, basically the worse, because it's more likely It's copy and paste from somewhere without, without permission or without citation. All right, so if you have any question about academic integrity or plagiarism or Turnitin, let me know. And most of all, you need to ask me first, okay, before spending, hour, 2 hours yourself. It's not smart. Okay, so I'm here to help you out, and I pretty much online. They